and I don't know if they want me to put this out there, but this is my story, so
Sure.
whatever. But she hit me back in like maybe February, March, and was like, "Hey, so I'm seeing somebody. Okay, do they at least live in Austin? Because if they don't, we got some talking to do."
Shayne, what's going on, my man?
What up, Jim? How you doing?
I'm hanging in there. Sad to see you go.
Yeah, yeah, it was definitely it was bittersweet, knowing that the way I made it there wasn't how everybody else made it there. So, it's like, yeah, but I'm just happy I made it this far.
There you
You
go.
know?
You really had a great run. And the thing is, you did it honestly and genuinely. You know what I mean? You didn't screw over anyone. You really did it as honestly as you can in this game.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And that's, I had a great alliance. I couldn't turn my back on them ever. And, that's just that's the way that I live life.
Yeah.
Depending on what reality show I'm on, I'd say I could definitely switch that up, start manipulating a little heavier.
You learned a thing or two, you know what I mean?
Oh man, I learned a few things, man.
By the way,
Ooh.
I love your background. Where are you at? This is the
Oh, thank you.
coolest one I think I've seen.
No, yeah, this is my apartment. Like it's
I
I
love
live up
it.
there. It's like a loft.
Yeah, it's like a loft. It is so
Yeah.
badass.
No, I appreciate it. I do media and stuff, so trying to help my city out a little bit, but I'm gonna relocate after this.
Are you in Indy currently?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, so you're feeling this heat right now, this suffocating humidity. I'm in Chicago, so I'm not too far away.
Oh yeah, for no reason. Like y'all at least got a beach. You know what I'm saying? We
Fair.
2.5, 3 hours from a beach, and even then, like it's on a day to day, 90 degrees for zero reason.
Oh my
No,
God. Can't
no
breathe.
scenery, no nothing. Nah, just that's why I be in the house.
I mean, hey, that mountain air and all those locations, and that you guys are in Austria, all those sounds good about now, right? I mean,
Oh my God. Yep. Hey, that got me about to book a ticket. Like I need to just get up out of here.
Europe is a lot cooler, you know what I mean, especially in the
Oh yeah.
summer than here. So you experience that.
Oh yeah. Loved
Shane,
it.
the thing too, how, how's your poker game? I mean, Biggie was the better, so I'm like, he's got to come through on this. But I mean, that shift. I mean, there's nothing guaranteed in this game. When you think you know it, you flip it over. How
Mhm.
shocked were you after you placed your ex, like, and then suddenly you find yourself on a yacht? I mean, talk about a shift of direction and just literally setting.
Oh yeah, I mean, honestly, it started with only having one challenge to decipher where we was at. Like just and then the clues that you get, the major clues, you got to rely on somebody that you're competing with to tell you.
Yeah.
So even with that, it was like, all right, well, I'm dang near out. Like I have no idea where we're at. I was happy to see the roulette situation to
Yeah.
where it isn't going to be based on knowledge. You could still get to the finals. But then about halfway through that, it was like, well, they're headhunting Biggie. So you might end up in the final with these two.
Uh-huh.
And that wasn't something I was going to that wouldn't have set well with me after getting this far and not trying my hardest to at least be in the final with Biggie.
Yeah, you gave him that lifeline. You brought him back.
Yeah.
Watching this back, were you shocked that he was like you were you put Milan, so you were at a disadvantage entering this, but you got a lifeline basically with this roulette. But then knowing sort of where you were and where he was watching this back, he got moved all the way out there. What was that sort of reaction when you were watching this versus experiencing and living it first?
I mean, knowing what happened, all my like tension and frustration. Like when I tell you, I would have felt terrible if
Yeah.
it was me, Peter, and Rick in the final. Like the
Mhm.
fact that I had this agreement with Biggie that I would be his bulletproof vest. As long as I made it, he
Yeah.
made sure I made it, and for him to be taken out on a um, basically a spin, the roulette table and, the option of cards, and, with Rick and Peter being together, they were headhunting Biggie. Like they didn't care too much. They wanted me in the final.
They did.
Yeah. So, that's really the only thing looking back that kind of it brings up more emotion than causes, I would say.
Can you believe how loyal Rick and Peter were to each other, though? First of all, no one really knew they had an alliance, especially.
No, I did. I'm not letting nobody live that down. I told everybody. I'm sitting here like the amount of time they spent on the bus together.
Yes, right. They're in the corner together.
Yo, it's crazy. So it was a uphill battle with that. And then once I got tired, it was just like, all right, bro, whatever you want, man. You got me this far. It is what it is. You're gonna see. Time always tells. I created a tattoo that I plan on getting, and that's what it is. It's time will tell. I don't want to put the design out there now because I don't want anybody stealing it. But
there you go.
Yeah, but it's that I wholeheartedly believe in that due to meeting enough people that look like me but don't act like me, and they act negatively. Like they're just like you look like you be that. I've gotten that so much, and then time shows. Oh, actually, you a pretty cool person. Just gotta let time rock. You know what I'm saying? I'm okay with that. So that's the situation. Watching everything back, I'm sure he's just like, oh my God, I should have listened. Like I should have, because I know I'm sure he was talking and spilling some beans to Rick, and that was his own choice.
Yep. Hey, was really whenever Jeffrey came, like the Mr. Death arriving? Because it's just like, so I got a little surprise for you. It's like, oh shit, this is not good. There's never good news when Jeffrey arrives, right?
Never. I mean, like they're from the Venice to after the horse challenge in the last challenge, and the chateau.
Yeah.
He was in there. I went in first. Not there. Comes walking in. Of course. Like, we didn't know he was going to be there. We were told prior that he was out doing something else, Man. So it's never good when you see Jeffrey. And that is probably one of those like, all right, well, I'm trying to figure out this challenge. Yet now I got to hope that this ain't some like sneaky situation to where it's like, well, actually, this is the map room. Like, so yeah, seeing him was not great.
Totally too. Like, I've been keeping a list every week when I speak to someone who exits of like promises Jeffrey has made. I mean, it started with like, I think Josh was like, oh, let's get a beer. Josh says never got one. No one's ever gotten anything from Jeffrey that he promised. Rachel says she wants a husband from him, okay? Because he said, oh, you're going back home to a husband. I don't think he promised you anything. He just jetted you off, literally put you on that boat and let you go. So there were no promises even to you of anything, nothing to collect on, basically.
Well, I can look at it two ways. Either I didn't make a big enough impression, or he loved me so much that he didn't want to lie to me.
Right. It could go either way.
Yeah.
He's got some collecting. I mean, I hope everyone starts collecting on the promises he made, because right now he's like, oh, for a lot, Oh,
yeah. I'm sure he's got some unread DMs. It's like, where's my beer? You said we could do something.
Shayne, I loved how cool, like nice and casual you dressed, like a nice white tee, nice pants, and especially on that boat. And there's Peter dressed like he's going to a gala every time. Were you like, yo, Pete, what's up with like these fancy suits every time? You look great too, but like everyone's kind of keeping it cash, and you're going on a different challenge, you're walking, you're running, doing things, and Peter's dressed like he's going to like a charity gala or something, or like a premiere. What is up with his outfits constantly?
So with that, being in the modeling industry for this long, there are two types of people. There's the typical, if I just got to dress up, this is what it's going to be. And then there's the people who put their own flair on. You know what I'm saying? And understand that dressy is different, and there's many acceptable forms of it, not just the suit, the tie, the slacks, like, or the, the dress pants.
Yes.
And being the fact that we're driving around, not knowing exactly where we're going to be at, what the situation is going to call for. I'm keeping it light. I'm keeping it somewhat casual, but still put together. Like,
Right.
I felt that my outfit could be on a yacht.
I agree.
His could too, but he's gonna be sweating and he's gonna look more of the business person and not the, oh, this is your actual lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't see, like, they say with business wise, people who have to wear suits, the not having to wear a tie is like your sign that you're probably the boss. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
when you start to get more comfortable in the understanding of fashion, and he's a pilot, I don't think fashion is the first thing on his mind.
Fair.
Me, I'm a model. It's the first thing on my mind.
There you go. No,
yeah.
you dressed well for the occasion for sure. Hey,
I
we need to
appreciate it.
talk about the elephant in the room before you go. I felt even more disheartened for you because the money was gone and the 1 in a trillion woman
Okay.
too. You know, I
Yeah.
mean, watching that back now, you're like, oh man, maybe Biggie was that 1 in a trillion for me as far as like
Hey.
best life buddy. But
Yeah.
and then Ally drops the big news that she's with Mac. I mean, how much stuff was going through your mind when you found that out and you thought you might have a romance going back home? Maybe you should have moved to Austin. Maybe it would have turned out differently.
Funny you say that. So that was really our issue. Not being close. And
Yeah.
then, we had some other situations that we had to address with how much communication that we had. And, I'm an entrepreneur. So it's like I'm hustling day to day, trying to make things happen, make things shake, even outside of the modeling. I make good money in that. But I've learned to never rely on it. So I had gotten kind of a deadline on when I needed to decide, and that decision was not to uproot my life and move. And that is, she is more than welcome to have made that decision. As long as she's happy, Mac's happy, like I'm happy for people. Before Ally, I had already accepted. This might be a little, yeah, but I had accepted living life alone. I feel like I've experienced enough women throughout my life, personality wise, to where I was just like, you know what? I don't think I'm a finder. So it is what it is. And having developed that, this situation happens. As long as you guys are happy and this is exactly what you want, I can't be the person to be like, nah, that's messed up. That's this, that's that, for selfish reasons. Like it's just not in me. I am such a no stress, no drama, just live tranquil. You know what I'm saying? Like on
That's
the
a
show,
good
might
way
seem
to
a little
live.
different,
I
but
love that.
hey, it keeps you young, in my opinion.
Less
Stress
gray
will
hairs.
kill you.
Less
Yep.
gray hairs, Shayne.
Yeah. Well, I mean, might not, really show that. My mom
No,
grayed
you're
early.
good.
It's hereditary, but it is. Yeah. The wrinkles and the basically your body breaking down, being sick. All that stress plays a part on all that.
100%. I mean, yeah, but shocking. It was like on the bus, they weren't
Oh,
that close to it. It's like, of all people, it's Mac. I mean, that
now,
was.
yes, shock factor. Oh, like shock
100%.
factor. She hit me with that. Like I
Yeah.
was like, what? And I don't know if they want me to put this out there, but this is my story, so
Sure.
whatever. But she hit me back in like maybe February, March, and was like, "Hey, so I'm seeing somebody. Okay, do they at least live in Austin? Because if they don't, we got some talking to do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like
Because the
you left me
distancing,
because
that
I
isn't a
couldn't.
factor.
Yeah. So, but didn't get that answer. Was left on red, which is cool. Hey, that's how. As long as you're happy, you know what I'm saying. And we had a conversation. She came to Indy. We did the breakup situation. And this is like already out to this. I'm very straightforward, very blunt. And she was curious why I wasn't as emotional or I wasn't crying as much or crying. I wasn't crying at all. And that was because I told her like, yo, I'm gonna be serious with you. Like, you haven't been in my life long enough to truly impact it to that point. You
Right.
know, it had only been 2 months max, you know, being on the bus as well. So,
Yeah.
you know, that's how I feel we're honestly able to still be friends. You know, I could have been hella hurt about it and, oh no, I just can't even, you know, but
Right.
Ally is the way that I feel about Ally as a person hasn't changed. You know what I'm saying? Like the one in a trillion, like Mac, you got that. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like
Yep.
she is an amazing person, you
Yeah.
know, and things just didn't work out, and that's okay. You know, like I said, I had accepted being alone mine for the rest of my life, and I just kind of jumped back into that mindset, you know.
Hey, you're thinking in a mature, rational way, and believe me, you will find someone eventually. You know, I mean, you still have life to live. I
Yeah.
think it's like when you live your life and do your own thing, it kind of comes to you, you know, when you least expect it. So you're on a good path, Shayne. You're pursuing all the right things. And quickly, where are you moving to? You said you're moving somewhere.
Yeah, I'm not sure. So
Okay,
with modeling, I got to play the factors. You know what, you
sure.
know, taxes come into play into that versus how much work is in that city. You know, and where I could potentially be to just travel. You know, be pay less, and you know, if it's $100 $200 flight on a regular, I could just make that happen if I'm paying less for rent. There's so much. All this came. Honestly, I was getting in touch with myself a little bit more out in Costa Rica. I went on a miniature mission trip. We only help a school for a day, but it's a kids organization that I work with, and it just you know I got to the point to where I feel my time in Indy has been stretched as far as it needs to be, and you know I kind of got to focus more on myself instead of trying to build my city.
There you go. Perfectly said, man. It was a pleasure watching you on the show. You were great. I mean, you played it honestly, and I know there's bigger things for you ahead. So awesome job, and really cool to get to finally talk to you and connect.
No, I appreciate it, Jim. It's definitely my pleasure, man.
Hey, I'll be
And thank you
following
for
your
giving me a
journey.
platform to tell my story. You know,
That's right. Thanks so much, Shayne. Hope to get to talk to you down the road.
no, for sure.
All right.
Appreciate you, Jim.
Thank you. Bye bye.